is a cold day today. I think it got down to like the 20s last night. Oh, coldest day of the year so far, but we still outside working. Man, it's cold outside. Hope that bobcat starts up. Let's see if she'll fire off. Just gotta jump her off. Break out the big coat today, and I finally found my gloves I was looking for. Bonnie had put them up somewhere so we wouldn't lose them, and we lost them. You know how that goes. So I don't know if you're like me, when the cold hits at the first of the year, or when the first cold hits, I'm scrambling to make sure everything has antifreeze and everything's good to go, batteries are charged, that kind of stuff. So yeah, last night or yesterday evening, fired the old Range Rover up and pulled it out, made sure it had antifreeze. This old piece of crap truck right here, made sure it had antifreeze, and checking antifreeze on everything because it didn't know how cold it was going to get. I drained the sawmill. Well, I thought I did. I latched the throttle cable, which also engages the blade cooling juice, and I latched it with a pair of pliers, and apparently it drained about halfway out. Well, it's about that much in there now, if you can see it, about a quarter of the way full. But I latched it with a pair of pliers, and there's the pliers on the ground. So apparently it popped off, but it did not freeze up, so that's good. I didn't want to come down here this morning and that bottle be busted. So we ran around all yesterday evening trying to winterize stuff, get things ready for a freeze, which it really didn't freeze much of anything. Chicken's water had a little ice on it. Other than that, it wasn't too bad. Dogs were trying to lick out of a frozen bowl this morning. They were licking on top of the ice, but all in all, it wasn't too bad. So it didn't get real cold, or it didn't stay cold very long anyway. But I think the next 4 days are gonna be pretty chilly. And I think it's going to be getting colder, so down in the 20s. So today we're going to be running around, checking everything, making sure we're all good. Look at this rag. That's solid. So some stuff still froze. We did have frost on the ground. But anyway, we're about to jump this bobcat off and see if we can get it started up. I had to actually rob the glow plug relay over the summer and put it where the headlights are. So I'm gonna have to swap those around. But right now, we've got a dead battery. And I guess it's really cold too. But anyway, we got a dead battery. We're gonna get this thing jumped off and started. We'll still have a cold, hard start either way, because like I said, the glow plug relay needs to be swapped around. But that kills the battery also. right, now that we got that fired up, we're gonna make sure the sawmill will fire up. I don't think I'll ever have a problem with the sawmill firing up because it is gasoline. That's one good plus of the gas engine. We're gonna let those warm up for a minute, especially the Bobcat. So what I'm gonna be throwing on the mill today is some of this maple. I got quite a bit over here stacked up, but I got it kind of mixed in with some poplar. But I gotta find one piece I have that's a pretty good size. We're gonna split it up on there. It's got a good crotch in it too, so I'm curious to see what's in it and what we'll get out of it. And I think that's it right there. So we're gonna take this maple right here and we're gonna put that on the sawmill and see what she's got inside of it. One other thing we're gonna be doing is we're gonna move that sawmill from over there to over here. My buddy came out with his mulching machine, his big skid steer and mulcher head. And we mulched out everything out here, got it nice and cleaned up. We got this real nice flat spot here we're going to put the mill in just to kind of get it away from this area, because we're going to try to make this a turnaround area, so truck and gooseneck can pull in and kind of pull around, circle all the way around. And that's one of the reasons I hadn't built or started on the sawmill shed yet, because I wasn't sure I was going to keep the mill right there in that one spot. So once we know exactly where we're going to have it permanently, or mostly permanently anyway, that's when we'll get building on that. That's about that time, because days are short, it's cold, and it sure would be nice to block some of that wind and have light. Our slab pile's starting to get out of hand, so if anybody needs some slabs, hit me up in the comments and you're welcome to come get you a load on the house. Well, that's not what I wanted to happen, but it did. Whatever. My backstops dropped on me. I had them up, but I gotta replace the bolts, or the little T-handles that tighten them down, because this one's bent. Everything's bent on here, so this thing doesn't tighten very well. So it dropped and allowed the log to completely roll over, and before I could stop it, it was already on its way. So luckily my winch, all that had already slipped out, so it didn't break that. But anyway, I gotta get this log up now. Here comes the ground crew. Man, this day's already going great. I guess I got to re-level the mill now. I accidentally hit the boards that the jacks were sitting on, And I kind of jacked the mill up, so I know it's completely out of level now. I should go ahead and move it now and get it on that flat spot, but I need to do a little more cleaning up and stuff around here and moving some trees around before I move it. And I kind of need to cut these logs now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it re-leveled up where it sits, and I guess see if we can't screw something else up for today. So we're somewhat leveled again now. I've changed that blocking out underneath the tire, or underneath the jacks, and leveled up. Just put some 1x underneath here and some oaks underneath some of them. Those should hold it instead of the one long piece. I had that long piece on here, but I kept hitting it with the forks and moving the mill around, so this will probably be better anyway. I do still have a long piece here, but I usually don't come this far back with the forks. So I should miss it right in here. That's usually where I load at, or unload, either one. And shovel some of this junk out here, and we're back in business. Okay, let's try this again. I'm gonna load that log. Couple pry bars there. Let's see how we're gonna roll this thing over and set it up. I think I'm gonna set it with that small horn to the top there, and it will nick it off first. And might come down here with a chainsaw and cut some of this off, because that's gonna be right on the bunk. Okay, we're about to make this first cut and get that knot off there. It's looking nice so far. I think I'm just gonna cut this down to, I get that little horn off the end. Get a flat on this side, then I'll go ahead and flip it over. I think I'll just completely flip it 180 degrees. But we finally got it on here, got it set up. When I was trying to winch it over, I didn't realize the cable had caught my clamp here. So that's one more thing I almost screwed up. So today's been one of those days. Well, it's actually a different day after I made my first cuts here. The battery died and I was losing light, so I decided to call it a day and start back today. This is after the first cut, or the couple of cuts anyway. But we open this thing up. I don't know if that's coming through on the camera, how light it is. Got some pretty grain in this wood. We're gonna flip it over and get this mill fired up. Flip this thing and we're gonna square it up. See if we can't get some boards out of this thing. Once I get it kind of squared up, I'm gonna wop this end off right here with all the colors in it and make a bowl blank for that for my buddy. He's got a wood lathe and does a lot of bowl turning, so he'll enjoy that. A hydraulic log roller will be really nice. Look at that super white sawdust. It's like snow. This wood is so clean. It's pretty. I might need to change blades. This one's got it's got a bad tooth or something, that blade. Got a few streaks in it, but everything else is super light colored, like crazy light colored. Like I said, I don't know what species of maple this is, either red maple or silver tip or whatever they call them out here, which I think might be the same thing, but pretty wood. Got some nice one-bys out of it so far. I'll have to edge these up and size them down before I throw them on a pallet. But we're gonna flip this thing over and go ahead and try to square it up. Those boards are looking nice. We got her squared up now. Other than that, got a little corner right there. Trying to get some larger boards out of it, so probably gonna try to get some 1x10s. But it's looking nice. You see that grain's super white and clean. And this stuff smells really sweet when you're cutting it. So if you know what people use maple for other than furniture, let me know. I'm curious of what all. I know some people use it for like guitars and guitar necks and different things. I don't know what all maple's used for though. I know furniture, because I've had maple furniture myself. I made maple furniture myself, and it makes some pretty stuff. And I made guitar necks on my CNC routers before, and you know, they came out really nice, and the stuff's good and hard. But what other uses does it have? Do people use it for trailer decking and things like that? I don't know. Maybe in Canada. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to flip this over one more time. I'm gonna cut boards 1x down to this spot right here, and I'll keep that about 4 inches, and I'll wop that off for a buddy of mine that does the bowl blinks, and I'll continue cutting boards down from there. And some of the boards will have this little eyeball in it, and the rest will be clean and white wood. This end has a little bit of coloring, but we're gonna flip it one more time and get it that way. heart of this thing. I'm starting to get down into it now. Go ahead and make me another cut and see what that looks like. Well, that's another cut off of it. I'm gonna pour a little water on this and see what it looks like. Looking cool so far. Here we go. Do this grain reveal. That sounds so silly. But it sure helps see what the grain looks like. Now look at that. There it is. My water was a little soapy, but you get the idea of it. Look how pretty that wood is. I'm going to continue cutting these things down and stacking them up. But it started getting cold again. It got down in the 20s last night here. I don't like the winter time, I tell you. I'd rather summer all day long. I'll sweat to death out here before I can freeze. But the clouds came out and the sun kind of hid behind the clouds and it got to cooling off real quick. The mill with the chain, sharpening that again. All right, I was gonna cut it further up, but I figured I needed to make it square. That'll be a nice bowl blank there. That's got all the color in it right there on that side, so that'll be cool. Right in the pith too. I'll have to get that sealed up with anchor seal or paint, so it doesn't crack when it's drying out. Thinking about keeping this one piece a solid 2-inch. Actually, I think it's 6/4. But thinking about keeping it thick in case I want to make some furniture legs or something. I might want to make a table out of this. I haven't built furniture in a long time. It used to be a hobby when I was younger. If you've ever built furniture with store-bought lumber, a lot of times it's hard to match up the grains, and especially with maple and even some oaks and things. You get a few pieces that look nice and you have several of them that's completely different color or different grain pattern, but it's really nice when you can use everything out of one tree and everything kind of matches and looks the same. Of course, I'm no furniture builder and no master at it for sure. It was always just a hobby, but I guess that's how hobbies turn into businesses, having hobbies like that. Kind of like sawmilling. I think that's going to do it for this maple though. I got some nice slab wood and boards here. I'm going to stack those up too. And well, what's good anyway. Some of it's not, but like some of these big slabs are nice. And I'll probably go ahead and slab those up, or stack those up with the boards and get them on a pallet. Get some weight on them, like my black walnut over there. I got to start building that stack up. But I'm going to stack all this stuff up too and get it all ready for kiln drying. But I guess that'll be it for today. I'm not gonna bore you with stacking it onto a pallet. If you want to see that stuff, let me know. I'll start recording more of it, but it's cold out here and fooling with this camera, you just kind of want to get it done. But if you want to see that sort of stuff, let me know. I'll suffer the cold and make that stuff if that's what you want to see. But that's gonna be it for today. And I appreciate you coming to watch, and I'll catch you on the next one. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you hadn't already. And we appreciate you watching our channel, and hope you come back for more. See ya.